Hey, everybody, welcome. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. Got Pablo and Justin with us today. We got a great show for you. It's Monday. We're going to hash over all the things that happened last week. We're going to talk about all the things that are coming up. We're going to talk about that big Fish and Game Commission meeting. We got a lot to talk about today, gang. I want to welcome you all. It's Promar Ahi USA Monday. We always talk about cool Promar products. And we wish we were talking about going out and using the rock cod squirts tomorrow. And we wish we were talking about using the descending devices tomorrow. But let me tell you something. Tomorrow is not the day to go do anything on the water. Tomorrow is a kind of a scary day out on the water, gang. It looks pretty terrifying. Justin, what are they calling for as far as wind goes?
I think it was 32.
Local. So
Local.
if any of you were thinking about going out on a sport boat to go rockfish fishing, if they're still scheduled to go, that's got to be crazy. That you cannot go fishing tomorrow. I don't care who you are or how bitchin' your boat is. It's going to be absolutely terrifying out there, Pablo.
Terrifying tomorrow, but
it's
out there today. Steve Duncan couldn't get enough, so he went back out this morning.
Oh, good. Has he got one yet?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but I'll hit him up here in a second. But
well, if he had one, he would have called you. I promise.
For sure.
So I'm not sure if you guys watched what Pablo did yesterday. If you didn't, you're probably one of the only people in California that didn't. Yesterday's numbers were incredible. The amount of views we had on Pablo's show was absolutely bananas. Justin and I are just blown away. We couldn't believe the amount of people that watched that show yesterday. Thank you all very, very much. We appreciate all the views and all the people that enjoyed watching Pablo out there catching. And I'm going to just show you a little bit about what he did yesterday. Here, gang, check this out real quick.
Ricardo's hooked up. DTX Minnow. Fernandez Charters. And there's your captain right there. Promar Ahi Gaff. Yep. I hooked them on earlier and it came off 20 feet from the boat. This one here. This one here. Let somebody else bring it in. I didn't want to lose another one on Pablo's boat.
If he's pulling, you're not pulling, and if he's not pulling, you are just cranking. Keep cranking.
Off the game plan today.
Keep it in the water. Keep it in the water. Keep it in the water.
Keep
Keep it in the water. Reel. Keep it in the water.
Beautiful.
Bring it over here.
On the gas. There we go, boys. Here we go. Let's see.
Fuck yeah, baby.
In the boat.
Yeah, boys, that's fantastic.
This is a PG video.
Yeah.
Disregard the language.
Fuck yeah, baby.
What do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen? Not a bad day yesterday, Pablo, and you were able to do 2 of those and lost one of those, and then you took everybody into the kelp for a little while, had some fun mackerel and barracuda and calico bass fishing. It was just a well-rounded day altogether, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great out there. It was a little, just kind of wonky, a little bit of that short interval swell from the wind, bouncing around a little, but not bad at all. We have a stable platform, and yeah, like you said, good balanced day. We just kept on, switching gears and going after whatever we thought was going to be biting at the time. So it worked out pretty good.
So when you're targeting those yellowtail tuna, how fast are you trolling?
I keep it under 100 at all times.
Under 100?
Always under 100, for sure.
Nice.
No, I was going about
you're trolling a Mad Mac, right?
Yeah, it's a new and improved Mad Mac. It's a 4-footer and it goes over 100 knots. But no,
nice.
we were going like about 6 to 6.5 knots, just kind of keeping it in there. That's just kind of the range. I mean, sometimes we'd slow down a little bit. I mean, there was some swell out there, but my goal is to keep it right around 6 knots, 6.5 knots max. I try to keep it there, and that seems to be a good effective speed for, for the kind of like the deep divers, something like that.
So those that are watching that don't know the term of knots, like, are you tying a Palomar knot, or are you driving in the knot?
Yes, we are driving in.
So if you're doing 6.5 knots, that's probably what, 7 to 8 miles an hour?
Yeah, somewhere right around there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just leave it on knots as far as on my, on all my electronics on the boat, but that seems to work for me really well in that zone. And again, it's kind of, you got to feel for it. And every one of these fancy new lures, they always have specific ranges or whatever, but you go with what works for you in your local fishery. And that's kind of what I try to do, is just try to kind of match what's working out there. And I play with it. And the last week or so, that's been really good. That's been working out well.
And then
Very good.
if you want to know where we're fishing at, what we're using, the size of the lures, all those different things, we have a phenomenal website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, where you can get all the information to all these things that you're trying to figure out. Whatever you're trying to do out there on the water, we have a plan for you. We have how-to videos. We talk about everything. Pablo gives a game plan every Thursday. Justin gives a game plan every Thursday. Al gives a game plan every Thursday. We answer all your questions on the website. And then we do this podcast 6 days a week to kind of let everybody know what's going on out on the water. But if you want to get down to the specifics of what, I'd never been able to say that word. But if you want to get down to that, about what's going on out on the water, you guys, all you have to do is go over to our website and check it out at yoursaltwaterguide.com. You never, ever have to suck at fishing again unless you want to. You never have to go on a social media page and ask a question and get a million answers to a simple question and a lot of negativity. You can simply go over to our website and get all your questions answered with kindness. And the community is what really does it for us. We love the community. It's a family. The community is straight up family. This is the kind of stuff you see on the community if you read what's going on. And there's our good buddy Matt Ryan. He followed Justin's game plan with a couple of nice halibut in his hands. If you look, there's Pablo yesterday, and all day while Steve Duncan and Tony Kendall and Isaiah and Pablo were talking to everybody, they kept saying, we're sticking to the game plan. It's the exact game plan Pablo put out. That's what they went and did. And they were rewarded with that beautiful fish. And then it's just some of our family members sharing my birthday. This is what the website's all about. It's all about family. I mean, look at that. There's our good buddy Tut, who's been fishing with me forever. He's a member of the website. He won the biggest lobster of the season out with Justin. How big was that lobster, Justin?
Oh, heck. 12 point something pounds. So those of you that are wondering why Dave's so tongue-tied, I can't even talk either. Tongue-tied right now. He pulled a Mr. Beast move yesterday and broke the frickin' internet and YouTube with Pablo.
Yes, we did.
Over 45,000 views just on YouTube while Pablo was live. Absolutely crazy.
On a live fishing trip. And I mean, we thought Justin's numbers were cool when we were getting 12, 14,000 views. We thought that was pretty bitchin'. Yesterday, Pablo's numbers were off the hook, Justin. It was higher than that. It's 49,000 views on YouTube, 12,000 views on Facebook, 11,000 views on Instagram. Yesterday's Pablo's fishing trip. Justin and I are just like, really?
What
and Pablo caught like 6 fish the whole day. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think people were just shocked that
You were live, that
Number
you were
one,
able to finally.
that I could go live, and they probably liked the fact that we had to switch like through 4 phones all day because no phone could get over 20%. Maybe that was part of
You know, you can get 45 or 49,000 views on one platform, but Pablo can't find a phone charger.
it. No, I had one phone charger. Nobody else brought one, and everybody came with their phones dead. And I usually charge mine when I get in the boat.
If they
but
came with it dead, you got to leave it dead. Charge yours. It's just how it is.
it would have
And
been
you know what, Justin, you'll love this. Elliot said, you know what Justin needs to do? He needs to go to the kind of camera that Pablo's using. That's the key. And I was like, the phone?
Phone.
He's got 5 cameras that each cost $1,200 a piece. And so you want us to go back to what Justin was doing before with his telephone? Okay, whatever. I'm like, okay, Justin, throw those $1,200 cameras away. It's
Go to the phone. You can
Go
see
back.
noses again.
back to where it all started. Go back to the phone. Unbelievable, Pablo. That's just, I don't know. Hopefully we break that. Hopefully it's a new thing. The algorithm has finally decided that it's going to let people see what we're doing. It should, to be perfectly honest. We have 90,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. They should be looking. They should be watching. It's way better than any of that woke crap out there on the internet right now. Right, Justin?
Yes, it is. It is pretty amazing, especially seeing us live out there. I don't know about, we do struggle sometimes, but we try to make it look like we're not struggling.
Yeah.
And all we want to do is get a bite. That's all we want to do.
And you know what, Bob, guys? I would love to think that it's because it was Sunday, but Justin's gone live on Sundays about 800 times.
It's so weird.
It's the algorithm. You can't figure it out. You know, I don't know. We kept hearing, oh my gosh, the people, there's so many people. At one time at like 12:30 on YouTube alone, there was over 14,000 people on at the exact same time on YouTube. It was crazy.
Just watching it.
Watching. What we were watching was Pablo's 2 motors. We were watching his 2 motors.
And people just talking and talking about their phones. Oh my God. Phone charger.
I know.
You don't
I
want
was
to get your
laughing.
phone charger.
That was the funny part. I was like, you guys know we're live, right? Like you guys are standing right by the camera.
It was crazy. I don't know. Whatever it was, we'll try it. Yes, it was. It was because Steve Duncan was on the boat. That was it. Yeah.
That was it.
Yep. It was cool to see you on our show for a change instead of all the other people's shows, Steve. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah.
All we hear is, and we heard some other guy in the background, we couldn't even see who was talking. What, Dave? What? Huh?
Poor Isaiah.
I know. We had to climb up and put my ear to the phone sometimes because, it was funny.
Pretty good, though.
Yeah, I got to figure out a little speaker, and then I'm thinking about getting some more chargers for the phone.
You think?
Or for the
that might
boat.
or maybe put a cigarette lighter on the boat or something where you can plug in. That would be kind of cool.
I had that. That's for my phone, but everybody kept on unplugging me.
Everybody wanted. Well, you know what it was? They were all watching the show that they were on their phones.
It's so funny. That's so funny you mentioned that, because every time we go live, the passengers are watching themselves fish on the boat.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
No, it was absolutely incredible. I can't figure it out. I don't know why it happened, or hopefully we can duplicate it. Hopefully we're on to something new here. I mean, we've been getting views for a while on these live fishing shows, but maybe we turned the corner here, boys. Maybe we figured out something, or the algorithm found us. It's hard to say. That's why I'm viral on every single platform. Because if you're only on one platform, gang, it would mess up your head really fast if you woke up in the morning and found out you didn't have any views. And So I get to go search through all 7 of the platforms we're on every morning and see which one's popping today. And you never know. We got that video of Tommy Gomes just trying to put the bone marrow on a spoon. No verbiage, no talk, no nothing. Today it went over, it's 70.2 million views. 70.2 million views on that.
Dang.
On Instagram, gang. It's just, it doesn't, none of this makes sense to us, but yeah, there it is.
Crazy.
70.2 million views. Just putting the bone marrow on a spoon. So when you figure out the algorithm, let us all know. It'll be great. We're hoping you could help us figure it out. Crazy. Yeah, I wish it was the Sunday thing because Justin's gone live. There's 21 Hunting and Fishing says it was the Sunday thing. Well, Justin, if that was the case, you should have about 80 million views.
Yeah, right.
Because Justin's gone.
It was just a turn of something or another. Maybe it was just a turn of the page or something, but I think it was a turn of the phone.
Yeah.
And instead of the phone being this way, you turned it that way, and all of a sudden, boom, break the internet. Something so simple, so minute and small can make that big of a difference. It's crazy, huh?
Oh, it's...
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it could have been just because they're like, it's like one of those dumb videos that like you keep watching, and then you're like, oh, they got me. Like really dumb. They never finish it, you know? Like that's probably what they thought when they saw the 2 engines just humming around all day.
It went for 6.5 hours.
So it's like a Dave Hansen video. Everyone's waiting for the crash, right? Everyone's waiting for him to crash.
Exactly. That's kind of what it was. It was good. But finally, Pablo's on the game here now. Now we got Justin live. We got Captain Al Clowers. I don't know if you saw that out there fishing at the lake. Captain Al Clowers live. I think I got something with Al. No, don't. I don't know. I got something. We got Captain Al somewhere live with fishing at the lake. It's just, I don't know. We're hitting on all cylinders now. The coolest day we're going to have is when Pablo, Justin, and Al are all live at the same time in 3 different locations. It's going to be pretty spectacular, right, guys?
Yes, it is.
It's going to be awesome.
Really.
And if any of you guys, if there's any questions you have for Pablo or Justin or myself, you can go ahead and ask the questions. But here's something that's really crazy, gang. We got this gnarly weather coming down the pipe. We got wind, and then the day that it's not going to blow, it's going to blow. And then when it doesn't blow, it's going to blow some more. April's going to be super windy. It looks like we're going to get Thursday in. Wednesday looks terrible. I was just looking right now. Wednesday looks terrible in the morning. It starts out just howling. And then it starts to lay down as far as the wind goes, but the swell's going to be 7 foot inside of 10 seconds, which is going to be gnarly. Then
It's going to be crazy.
Thursday, it starts to mellow out a little bit, and people are going to be able to fish. Then the wind comes back on Friday, and we'll see what happens for the weekend. That's a long ways out, but tomorrow's going to be a phenomenal day to stay at home and do some honeydews or try to figure out this algorithm and why it given Pablo so many views, right?
Yeah. So Friday, everyone, may be doable to go fishing. I will talk to my normal guy who I go out with, and I'll see if he wants to go on Friday. And we'll show you how well these things work.
Right. Yeah, the rock cod squirts.
Yes. We'll show you how well they work out there. And yeah, it looks very doable, doesn't it, Dave? You see Friday?
Yeah, I'm looking at Friday. Thursday doesn't look that bad. It starts blowing out of the southeast. Yeah.
Friday looks all right. Saturday looks like there's a little bit of wind coming in, and Sunday looks good again. So hopefully things get good.
Yeah, Friday looks like it'll probably be the best. Gang, if you want to get some of those squid squirts or any of the other things that they have at Promar, I just put the QR code over Justin's face there. You can check that out. Go to the website. You're going to save 15% on any product you decide to buy at Promar. And there's so many. I got this cool little video I want to show you of Captain Al with the Go Shrimp pump. And then we're going to get back into this, and we're going to talk about these two guys have trips coming up. You can join them out there.
Hey, what's up, guys? Captain Clouds here with Promar Ahi USA.
Woo!
They came out with a brand new Go Shrimp pump, state of the art, best one on the market. Stainless steel with beautiful features like these really sturdy handles. The exit hole is on both sides, so you don't get any air bubbles when you pull on your stroke up. And the end of it is really sharp, so it goes in the sand or the mud really easy. All the components are really accessible, where you can change the grommet and stuff like that. I've used a lot of pumps over the years, stainless steel ones as well, and this one is top notch. So I'm out here to show you how easy they work, and let's go over here and check it out. So all these little holes right here are Go Shrimp houses. So you go over the little hole and pull, and it's very easy. There's a bunch of small ones right here where we're at, but there's one right there, honey. See that? So here's a Go Shrimp right here. These are the perfect bonefish size right here. But just a couple pulls on the Go Shrimp pump, and we got some Go Shrimp. So if you guys are looking for a really cool stainless steel Go Shrimp pump, go to PromarAhiUSA.com and get yours today. See ya.
Thanks, Captain Al. Sorry about that, gang, in the beginning of that video. It blows your eardrums out every time.
So I was just going to talk to everyone about this lovely, the rock cod squid squirts, right? So they come in 2 different colors. Do you know which one works the best, Pablo?
I know Dave loves the pink ones. I have luck with both of them. I really like the glowy ones myself.
So both of them work just the same. They're both just the same. So I'm going to show everyone what I do to get bit while we're out there, because all we want while we're fishing is to get a bite. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's a rock cod squirt right here out of the package. Really cool. It's on 50-pound line. And what I do, I took this little paper towel and I ripped it into a little squid strip. Let's act like this is a squid strip. So that's a small little squid strip. This right here is the hook. So this is how I put it on, the squid strip. I put it on one time. Now watch, I screw this all up to this freaking napkin. So I put it on once like this. I like to just do a double take on it and a double. So it hangs like that.
Yep.
Okay. So that's how I'm going to stick my squid. This is obviously going to be hanging down because it'll be heavier. But that's how I'm going to set this squid strip or the squid squirt up, is with a little tiny piece of squid strip on it, just to give it a little flavor. Drop it all the way to the bottom. You don't have to jig this, okay? The thing is, a lot of people like jigging this thing. I'm not sure why, but they like to take it and go like this. This is what happens when you start jigging this thing in the water column. Watch this. Oh, there you go. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You don't want to do that, okay? You just want to sit there. The current is going to move this like a live squid. It's going to move it freely, just straight out, just like that. The current's going to move it. Whenever you see a squid in the water, you don't see it flying up in the air and flying down, flying up in the air and flying down. That's not how a squid swims. A squid swims just like this. You know, take off and take off. That's all it does. So while you're drifting, what's going to happen is this going to sit out like this with a little tiny piece of squid strip on it. And it's just going to pull. And this way, if you're over the structure, you're going to get bit in a matter of seconds, probably within 5 seconds of touching the bottom of the floor once you drop it down there. So squid squirts, this one right here is the 3-inch ones. They have 50-pound line on them. They're really cool. They come in the 2 colors. I highly, highly recommend it. As far as glow in the dark or not glow in the dark, it doesn't matter. You just got to drop it down there to get a bite. So.
No, those things work phenomenal. The best part about them is they come pre-rigged in the package. And A lot of times you'll be out doing what Pablo is doing, or you'll be over at Catalina with Justin trying to catch a yellowtail or a white sea bass, and things are slow and the tide changes and nothing's happening. And they're like, let's go catch some rockfish. Back in the day, it was a mad scramble to rig up a ganyan and get it ready to go. All you got to do is grab that out of your tackle bag or your tackle box, tie the line onto one end that's already got a swivel on it, clip your weight to the other end. And I would say, Mike Lewis, nothing less than 8 ounces when I'm going to go rockfish fishing. And it all depends on the wind and it all depends on the current. 8 ounces to 16 ounces, somewhere in between there. The lighter you can get away with, the better, but you're normally going to be fishing in 300 feet of water or more. So there's that swivel. It's all ready to just clip that right to.
You're not
going on your way fishing.
300 feet of water or more starting tomorrow. You have to go less.
300 feet of water or more?
Or less. Yeah, you said we normally fish 300 feet of water or more.
But you can't tomorrow?
No, you have to be 300 feet or less.
Oh my gosh, they're just making it almost impossible to fish. Oh Lord.
But it's all right. It's all right.
When does that?
You know why? Because if you're a member of your saltwater guide, you're going to get the game plans of exactly where to go to be very, very successful out there.
The regulations
And Justin,
just unbelievable. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to pay attention. Even me, I can't pay attention, but I do know that if we show up to the Fish and Game Commission meeting, we on our Zoom calls or actually go there in person, we can't make a difference in this mayhem madness that's going on in these people that are making all these rules. It's absolutely incredible, but we don't want to get too far into that. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. But Justin and Pablo, you guys got plenty of trips available, right? You got plenty of stuff. People can get out there and go fishing with you guys. So Pablo, can we go do what you were doing yesterday? Can people come with you, open party type style, and maybe go troll around all day for one fish?
absolutely. But, we don't have to just go troll around all day for one fish unless that's what you want to do. But, just like everything, we can switch gears. We can do whatever's biting the best is what we're going to go after. And yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get out on somebody's boat as a guide or get people to come out with me. And I can show you everything that we do in my local areas or, somewhat local areas. Yeah, get a hold of me. I'd love to take anybody out.
And take advantage of what these guys are talking about right now, because you're going to be blown away with their pricing for the month of April. And it's because we want to get out there and show you what's going on so that you can see Pablo's boat, you can see Justin's boat, you can see Al's boat, and you can see why you want to be with these guys when this season starts rolling big time. In the middle of the season when we're catching yellowtail, white sea bass, barracuda, bonita, and bass, and you'll go, we got to go with Justin, we got to go with Al, we got to go with Pablo. But April is the time of the year to get introduced to these guys and their boats and the whole situation. So Justin, just talk a little bit about the specials that you're going to run for the month of April so that people can get involved in going with you. If they hadn't had the opportunity to fish lobsters with you, it's a perfect opportunity to get out on the water, right?
Yeah. So for the month of April, I'm running, this is only for the month of April though. It's not past. You can't buy it now and use it later. For the month of April only, is to get you out there, show you what's biting, get you on some fish, get your freezers full. We're going to be fishing combo trips at $200 per person. I need 4 to go. It's going to be, we're either going to target thresher shark or we're going to target halibut, whatever your choice is. And then after we target those for the first couple or 3 hours, we're then going to go out into the little bit deeper water and around 150 to 180 feet. And then we're going to go after rockfish. So it'll be a lot of fun. Whichever one, only $200 per person. It's only for the month of April.
So we got opportunity to do what we're seeing in the pictures?
Yes, you do. Those are all early morning thresher shark extravaganzas right there. We caught all those sharks within probably 1 hour.
Those guys look pretty happy.
Yes. If you've never caught a thresher shark before, I highly recommend you catch one. They're a lot of fun. They pull hard. They swim all over the doggone place. They jump out of the water. It's a lot of fun.
And I noticed something yesterday, Pablo. In the middle of the day, it was kind of slow. You took the people in and you anchored up on the edge of the kelp, and everybody got to catch fish for an hour or so in between hunting. Like you were saying, you were hunting for that big fish. I was just trying to let everybody know that yellowtail thing that Pablo does, it takes a special person with a phenomenal amount of patience to do that. And Pablo and I talked, and I was like, we got so many people watching, slide into the kelp for a little bit. They didn't want to do that. Those guys were all there to catch that big yellowtail, but we did it for the people so they could see that there's other things to do besides troll all day for that one fish. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to be a smartass.
No, I didn't take it that way. But yeah, you're exactly right. And like Justin is saying right here, we have options. You know, obviously we can't do the whole spectrum in a short amount of time, but you let us know kind of what you want to do, or in Justin's case for these specific specials, you tell him what you want to go after, and you're gonna have your best chance if you go with him for anything that you pick. And the same thing, like the captain, if it's me, Al, Justin, you know, even Dave when he was on the boats, the one thing we want to do is make sure you have a great time. If there's kids, it's all about the kids, and we just want to make sure you have a great time. You know, we're not going to just have, you know, take you out on a boat ride and waste everybody's time. We're going to work our hardest to make sure that you guys are having a good time out there and fishing the whole time. You know, there's no guarantee to catching the whole time, but that's a part of it, right? When we prize fish or anything else, that's the best feeling in the world. And the best feeling is seeing some little kid or something stoked for the first time on a big old yellow or something like that.
Right. But if you're going to take your children, it's not the day to go do that yellowtail fishing, trolling around all day. It's the most boringest thing in the world unless you're Steve or Tony or Isaiah or Pablo. You guys, you know there's a payoff there for that. But if you're just taking your children out fishing for the day, that's not what you want to do, gang. Unless you don't ever want your children to go fishing again, then absolutely do that. Then you won't have to worry about them going out fishing with you anymore. You won't have to worry about your wife letting you go fishing. You can just take up that silly game of golf or something.
Yep. Very, very true.
It's very trying on your patience, right, Pablo?
Oh yeah. I mean, not, I don't know. I mean, for me, not so much. I mean, it just depends on the crowd, I guess, you know. Some people get all negative and whatever, and you know, you're just like me yesterday was no pressure, you know, as a friends and crew trip, and it was just there was zero pressure, and I didn't feel any stress. Everybody knows exactly what we were doing. I didn't have to explain anything as far as like, hey, we're just gonna keep doing this for a while. I mean, no, it was like you said, those guys were willing to go sun up to sundown and just get as many yellows as we could. But that's a certain mentality. And yeah, like you're touching on, Dave, when we take the kids out a lot, I mean, rock fishing is excellent. Bass fishing is great. The barracuda and the bass and all the stuff we were getting closer to the shore yesterday. I mean, even the mackerel are so much fun for a kid. I mean, I remember being a kid and being so stoked on a mackerel with a light line, and just, you know, that's what it's all about. Just making sure everybody's stoked out there with us.
And let me show you something else about our website. There's so much on the website, so many great videos, so much great content, teaching content. Check out this video that Deckhand Ryland made for us last year. This is a great video. Check this out. The other Ryland's Corner over at Your Saltwater Guide.
You guys, I'm Deckhand Ryland. I'm also on Facebook, so you guys can come and follow me. So on Your Saltwater Guide, I'm going to have a little spot going to be called Ryland's Corner, so you guys can come check it out. So and remember, kids and adults, always let your kids fish. Alright, now that you guys know me, hope I see you guys on Your Saltwater Guide.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the most important thing is for us as adults, is to make sure that we let those kids fish. And Ryland hit the nail right on the head. That's an important video to understand what we're talking about. It goes right in line with that bluefin tuna offshore or that big yellowtail. those days are the days you and your friends should go fishing. But the day you take your son or your daughter or your spouse that doesn't really understand the whole fishing thing, what Pablo did yesterday in the middle of the day, that's what you want to do with your children. Catch barracuda, mackerel, calico bass. Let them fish. Let them hold the fishing pole. Let them wind in the fish. It's super important, gang, because you can blow it very, very easily. And I talk to a lot of adults that don't like to fish, and I just go, you had a horrible person in your life when you were a kid that didn't show you how to fish, didn't teach you the ins and outs, or took you out to tuna fishing for your first time. That's one of the dumbest things you could do with a child. And I know your child wants to catch a big tuna because you showed them a picture of it, but they don't know that it took 14 hours of driving around for dad to catch that one tuna. That's not fun for a kid.
And just imagine if you don't catch one, because you don't always catch fish. You don't always catch what you're after. So you will be out there for, like Dave said, 14, 16 hours driving around doing not a damn thing. Nothing at all.
Right.
Just staring and looking. If we don't see anything, I mean, unfortunately, we don't see anything, you're not going to catch anything. Imagine how boring that is for a kid.
And that's the really cool thing about Pablo and Justin and Al. They read the group when they talk to you on the telephone. They read the group when you get on the boat. And they're going to do their very best to make sure that you have the best time. What I would suggest, and I don't care if you go with our guys or you go with someone else, try to understand what the guy's trying to tell you, whoever you're going with. If they're suggesting that you go fish for bass and barracuda and yellowtail and white sea bass, and that's because they're biting. But if they're looking at your group and they're saying, hey, you know what the best thing to do today would be to take those rock cod squirts and go catch rockfish, that's because they understand. They're looking at your group and they know what's going to work for you guys. The last thing we want to do is lose another fisherman because somebody had a better idea than the guys that do it for a living. And they're like, hey, Pablo or Justin, you had that. Talk about that phone call you had a couple days ago about the guy only wants to go half day fishing out of
Long Beach. My God.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell Pablo about this. Watch him watch the show right now, but I really don't care. So this guy calls me and says, hey, I want to go out on last Friday. Sunday. I don't know. It was sometime, maybe it was last Friday. He wants to go fishing and he wants to get mahi.
That's like, all he wants.
You're not going to catch that right now. The water's too cold. No, that's all we want. I have like 4 other guys to go with us. That's what we want to go after. I said, well, you're not going to catch that right now. Our water's too cold. Okay, let me call you back. A couple days later, calls me back. All right, can we schedule the half day to go out on your boat to go catch mahi? I said, yeah, maybe in like August, September. No, we're going to go like this Friday. And I was like, no. We're not going to go this Friday. So he really insisted we go out. And I said, listen, here's what's biting on the half day. Halibut, whitefish, sheep's head, sculpin, and bass. Maybe a barracuda if we go into the right area. Oh, no, we don't want those kind of fish. We want mahi. And so unfortunately, there's nothing I could do for you. So then he called me back again the next day. And I said, listen, you're not coming on my boat. I can't satisfy you. You're done. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Would you take him for mahi right now, Pablo?
Well, it's funny you said that because I've had that conversation lately too. Like when people will send me like a booking request, and they'll do that, and I'll tell them just like that's not possible right now. And then this potential client was insisting on it. I'm very far Mexico, hire a boat down there, and then we can maybe find you some. But that's literally what I told the guy. I'm like,
watch it be the same guy.
It is not going to happen right now here. It just can't. I mean, maybe you never know, but
I know.
I know too. I would never.
You can't catch a mahi in Cabo right now. There's no mahi here.
Yeah.
So between here and in Long Beach, there's no mahi, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no mahi in Cabo right now. There will be come
Really far down
October,
there.
November. There'll be a bunch of them, but they're not here now. But
Yeah.
the reason why we're telling you all this story is because there's nobody that's on the boat that wants to catch fish more than the captain and the owner.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys think. I have this whole video on our website. But what you have to understand is if we don't catch fish, we don't make any money when you guys want to go fishing. So there's nobody. I've had people come out and go, gosh, I wish this captain wanted to catch something today. It's like, would you shut up? There's nobody that wants to catch fish more than me. And one thing that you all have to understand, do you think it's harder for a captain when they're biting or when they're not biting?
When they're not biting.
When they're not biting, gang, because the three of us right here, we know how to kill them. When they're biting, we can kill them better than anybody. We're the best at killing them. But when they're not biting, that's when we have to come up with these phenomenal stories. We got to keep you entertained all day. We got to stare in the binoculars all day. We got to anchor the boat 40 times. We got to do all that crazy stuff. Don't get me wrong. We love all of that. It all is part of the deal. But the big problem I see is people that tip according to what they caught. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, because I take you out there and the tuna are biting as good as they've ever bought, but you suck at fish, are good as they ever bit, but you suck at fishing. And now you're going to tip me on account of you don't know how to fish. That's stupid. That's lame. And you're going to judge, you're going to go on Yelp or wherever, you're going to leave your report, or what do they call it? Whatever they call that, extortion, Yelp, that website. And you leave a report saying, yeah, the captain didn't even want to try today because the fish weren't biting. We're trying our hardest. I see so much. That's why I'm not involved in Yelp. I never would be. That's an extortionary website. And people that listen to those people over there, that's ridiculous. You watch a show like this where we bring in the biggest names in the industry, captains, you get to know them. I don't know why you would fish with anybody except for Justin, Pablo, or Al. You guys all know them. If you're not going out on your own private boat, these are the guys you want to go with. You're going to go long range fishing. You're going to go Tim Ekstrom, Roy Rose. They've been on the show many, many times. And you're going to go back east, try to catch a giant bluefin. You're going to go with Paul Hebert. You go down to Florida, you're going to go fishing with Miranda, or you go down to Texas, you're going to go fishing with Heather. It's because you get to meet these people and hear their stories and know who they are. That's what going fishing's all about, I think.
Yep. I like what Dave said. Deck and sport. Mahi Monday. Hot take. All right, everyone. It's a wild bite right now. Unreal. The water's only 52 degrees, but there is mahi everywhere. Everywhere right now. You're not going to believe it. All you have to do is drive down to Costco or Sam's Club, go into the freezer section. They're all over there. Everywhere. Just take your fishing rod with you and some hook and snag it up. It's already filleted.
So I'm going to show you another little video Rylan made for us for the website, just so you get a better taste of what the website's all about if you're sitting on the fence trying to figure out if you should be a member or not. Check this little video Rylan made. I love his accent. Check it out.
Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to cut squid, put it on a hook. So let's cut the squid. Okay, so you want 2 fingers right here. And you want to cut it down just like so. I'm going to open the flap. Hold up. Like so. Just like that. And you want to 2 fingers. Cut the little strip. And if you can, I can't really cut it that good because I'm not good at cutting stuff. Okay. Now that we have the strip, I'm going to have to pull it off because I do not know how to cut. Okay, so now that we have the strip like this, I'll show you how to put it on. So
he knows how to cut. He knows.
So just a fair warning, everyone. Yes, that's a kid with a knife in his hand. He has adult supervision right there with him. I'm filming him right there. We went over it over and over and over again before we actually started filming of how to use the knife and not cut himself. Here's what I would recommend if you have your kids, which I don't recommend. I would recommend you having a first aid kit on your boat, no matter what. No matter what, have a first aid kit on your boat, especially when Pablo comes with you. So make sure you have a first aid kit on your boat. You need it no matter what. What if you accidentally get a hook in your hand or something else? Something happens, you slip and fall. Pablo drops a fillet board on your foot or anything like that. Any of this happens, you're going to need a first aid kit. So, yes, Rylan was there with me. That wasn't that sharp because I did make sure it was a little bit dull first. And if you have your kids or anyone else do this, please have a first aid kit.
But the really cool thing about that, gang, is that's Ryland's Corner. That's where you're going to turn your children on the website to this fishing thing. Because like Justin and I and Pablo will tell you, children aren't going to listen to us because we're old people and we don't know what we're talking about, but they'll listen to their peers. So that's why we built that section on the website. And then we kind of add new videos whenever Ryland thinks about something that he wants to show you guys that's really cool. So he's got his own little section there. But then Pablo has some videos on how to. Justin has videos on how to. Al, we have so much cool stuff over there. And then at the end of the day, when you become a member, you find out like Jeanette and Lisa and Darren and Jason and Dave Burris and Jeff from Huntington Beach and all the other people that are on here, Brian. It's family. We become a big, giant family. We're a family. We protect each other. We don't let anybody come on our website and talk crap. If you're a super negative person, you'll never enjoy the website because there's no negativity. We don't allow negativity, just like our show here. When you come on here and you want to spew your negativity, it just allows you to be banned. You never have to watch us ever again. It's the coolest thing in the world. All you got to do is make a negative comment and I ban you forever. I don't care. Goodbye. And we all say goodbye to you, and that's that. The cool thing about our website, no negativity. It's a big family. We're all working together to make sure that everybody has a good time when they're out fishing. And if there's anything any of you could suggest that we need to do on the website to make it better for you, we listen to you. We make new videos. We put new stuff up. We're constantly there for all of you.
Yep. So those of you saying about Rylan, don't worry about him, so on and so on. I'm personally not worried about him. If he cuts himself, he cuts himself. But I just had to give that disclaimer out there for not those of you commenting, but other people that may watch this that may have something negative to say about it. I really don't care what they have to say. So.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I take it all super personal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Spend most of my days crying. I'm a big crybaby.
I like Brent's comment. If you're gonna get upset about a kid with a knife in his hand, wait till you see Rylan with the rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's what it's about. You know, the kids
Someone
are
else said, don't worry about Rylan. He kills elk.
You know, we're gonna do, when we were kids, we did whatever we wanted. I mean, Rylan's lucky to have you showing him the ropes on hunting and, you know, fishing and everything. That's super cool, man. That is quality parenting.
Yeah, he's back. Captain Al Clowers on his motorcycle in Tijuana.
Not on a motorcycle yet. I'm walking down Revolution.
Look at you, bro. Aren't you scared? You're in Mexico.
No, not at all, buddy.
I heard it's terrifying down in Mexico.
No. Got a little bit of light rain, about 67 degrees. A little gnarly on the dirt bike, but it's an adventure, just like fishing.
So get this, Pablo and Justin. He drove down there an hour and a half ago on his motorcycle, went to the dentist, and now he's getting ready to ride his motorcycle back home. Crazy, right?
That's
awesome.
Weird. You're right in front of the gentleman's club right there? Huh. No, I'm just kidding.
Check it out. Hey, here's the big arch.
There it is. Whoop,
Yep.
there it is.
You know what's down the street? I don't want to mention it on here though.
Don't worry.
We have no clue. I don't even know what the pitch is.
Don't worry. Justin just mentioned it for you. Revolution Boulevard. I killed a lot of brain cells there.
Right? There you go.
So, Captain Al, are you going to be going live any of these freshwater anymore or saltwater? Are you going to be going live anymore for us?
Absolutely, I'm going to try. I know I have a trip in the back bay. This week I have one trip on each boat, which is kind of cool. Thursday is back bay. I have a group on the Riviera. I won't know what day they're going to change it to until about 3 o'clock today. And then on Sunday I'm on the lake. So from bass fishing to bone fishing to maybe the islands. It's going to happen this week. Spring break, so we should be booked. All of us should be booked solid. Normally I am during spring break, but see what happens.
All we can do is keep trying, right? Everyone's throwing out tons of suggestions. Andrew's saying you should go try the Chinese food down there.
Oh no! I
Other
jump
people
off
are saying go to where they do bull riding and they have donkeys or something.
I'm down here with the boys. We do all that, but this is strictly business. I jump off my bike, go to the dentist, walk back to my bike, and go home. Maybe have a few tacos.
And Jeanette and Kelly girl both want to know, Justin, how do you know about these nightclubs down there?
I was 18 once.
Ah, yes.
Hey, if you really wanted to kick it up a few notches, I could go walk the other way. You'd really freak out.
Yeah, you could. We would love to watch that.
There's about 500 of them standing outside the buildings down there, ready to go.
Oh, I never seen that. Weird.
Yeah. Captain Al, I just want to let you know a lot of people contacted me after you did your largemouth bass live show side by side with Justin. They really dug that. Nope, not too many people have gotten to experience the largemouth bass thing, so they were loving watching you do that.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. It's not the easiest thing to do, but hopefully I can click it on Saturday with the right battery.
Yeah, well, Justin and I are doing a GoFundMe to get you and Pablo some batteries.
No, I can get a battery. I just got to find the right one. I think I might be able to connect the inverter to one of my 12-volt batteries in the Ranger because I have 3 of them.
Yeah, that should probably work.
They're Group 27 deep cycle, all 3 of them.
What are you trying to do? What are you trying to connect? And Jeanette, you are still seriously funny.
Just connect a inverter box from a 12 volt to 110 with a cigarette lighter where I can plug in my phone.
Just to plug in your phone. Just to plug in your phone. I'm gonna show you something. I'll be right back.
I can't see too much on this phone, but check it out. Here's a taco stand. Where the tacos, no?
Oh, Al Pastor right there. I want 4 Al Pastor with pineapple.
Where the tacos, no? Yeah. Gotcha.
Hey,
Okay.
Captain Al.
This right here is my Go Live power supply. When I was using my phone only, can you hear me, Al?
I can hear you. I can't hardly see it though.
And Pablo,
you guys are really
both
tiny on my phone.
Both of you guys, I'm gonna show you.
Send me the link.
I wrapped it in cellophane, so when it rains or if it gets wet, it won't damage my charger, right? So I will take it off and I'll show you what it is. This thing
I can't really see you guys. I can see you, but I can't see.
You can see what you can.
You'll be able to see it when you get home. Just go to the 52-minute mark.
You can see it.
Well, hey, check it out. Here's the bike.
Huh?
He's showing you his motorcycle. He just rode down to Mexico, and look at it, still sitting there. Try that, and
handlebars. It looks like a car.
Hey, sitting there with the lock locked on the bike. I never lock it down here. I just roll into this parking lot, get off it, and go do my deal, and I come back, and it's always here.
Nice.
Imagine that.
So here you go. It's called a ROHSFC. So this is a power supply right here. This will charge like many phones. And it's hooked up to this long cord, which I could put anywhere. I have a Velcro strap that I put around it so I can hang it wherever I want. And I think this cord is 6 feet long. So I can just hook it up to my phone and put it wherever I want.
Nice.
This will charge my phone and my cameras on the boat, all of them, all at one time. It's really nice. So if
You're
you
the man, Justin.
Candy or anything like that, just get one of these little inverter packs. It's pretty cool. They sell them on Amazon. They're high.
Hey, when I get one of those, they're gonna have to watch me all day.
Sounds good to me.
Right?
Captain Al, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Hey, Seawolf Brett wants to know, is it a big savings to get your teeth fixed in Mexico?
50%.
Huh?
About 50%.
Yeah, exactly.
So check it out. I have a family. The doctor I use is Dr. Lorena, and she's on top of the dentistry game down here. She does everything: implants, bone grafts, gum grafts, you name it, surgeries, teeth. So today's my final day, and I've been through a 2-year process down here. So see my teeth?
Sexy.
Wow.
So I've had 8 implants done, gum surgeries done, bone grafts done, a couple implants my body didn't take. They had to take those out, put new ones in, and temporary bridges and teeth, and a new denture, and you name it, because all my cancer and everything, the radiation just smoked my teeth. So yeah, I've had surgeries where my mouth is bleeding still, and I'm on my dirt bike, and I pull up to the guy at the border, and he's like, "Hey, you bring anything back?" And I just spit out a little blood, and he lets me go by. So the cool thing, the cool thing is, I'm not going to have any more pain in my mouth. I've been through so much pain because of the cancer and the extractions and all the BS, and now everything's sitting on implants. An implant from her right now is $1,500. In the U.S., they're up in words of $4,500 each.
Wow.
So
That's a hell of a deal, gang. Go try to do that in San Diego.
right. So I had 6 implants on the top and 2 on the bottom with full teeth bridges and everything. That my top teeth are all one bridge that just bolts on now. It's so bitching. No more freaking live roots.
Nice. That's good. I'm glad for you, Al.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, when you do live, you got to look at least somewhat feasible, right?
Yeah.
Can't be toothless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to rain a little bit down here. It's always an adventure coming down here. I got to ride up the 5 on a dirt bike in the rain to get home.
Yeah, it's crazy what you do, the way you do that. But literally, Al can be back at his house with that bike in about a tenth of the time it would take you in your car. You just shoot right up to the front on that little bike. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah. It'll take, once I get on, it'll take me 15 minutes to get home.
That is incredible. It takes like 3 hours to get across the border in a car.
Yeah, depending on what day it is with the line. My wife says if it's raining, the line's really low. I'm going to find out in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, let us all know. That would be good to know. Then I know I can come up there when it's pouring down rain.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna jump off of here and get on that thing and get home.
Yep.
I just
Love
wanted
you,
to check
Al.
in with
Thanks
you
for
guys.
jumping on, buddy. We'll see you
Hey,
tomorrow.
and it was easy to get on right now. I don't know what happened yesterday, man. I clicked right on here today.
That's because you had to give all power to Pablo.
Good for Pablo. He deserves it.
It looks
All
like
right, Captain Al.
he found a phone charger. Pablo did.
I know. All right, I'll see you guys later, man.
Bye.
Hey, you're gonna have to hunker down for a couple days because it's blowing 20 knots tomorrow and Wednesday.
I'm going out tomorrow.
Okay, have fun.
Okay.
I'm going for Mahi. Mahi.
Get out of there, Al. There you go. There you go, gang. That's another one of our guides right there. Captain Al Clowers fishing the Back Bay in San Diego, fishing Otay Reservoir, fishing Coronado Islands. He's all over the place like Pablo and Justin, and he's another great human being to go fishing with. You can check him out. We got plenty of great people to fish with. Our website is second to none. There's nothing else out there like it. You guys just got to check it out. It's an incredible experience. Any luck out there, Steve Duncan? I see you on here.
Now he said earlier it started raining and they weren't biting like they were yesterday, so they came back.
Well, shoot. If they were biting like they were yesterday, he could catch one in 6 hours.
I know. Yeah, he has no fortitude. Get back out there.
Man,
Steve,
oh
if you
man.
want
Just
to
because
fish.
it's raining, the fish don't care. They're already wet.
I know.
That's a good one to
Oh
use.
gosh.
But Pablo could have been live all day yesterday. You don't understand, gang. Every single one of the guys on the boat were all trying to use Pablo's charger. So Pablo couldn't use his own charger on his own boat while he was trying to do a live show because everybody was watching Pablo while they were on the boat with him. Those of you that
they're watching Pablo live on the boat
with Pablo.
So funny.
And therefore the no phone was ever over 20%.
Oh, Brent wants to know how much did the fish weigh yesterday? So Pablo took him home. The big one weighed right at 78 pounds. And then the smaller one was right around 47.
Yeah, but the smaller one actually ate the big one on the way home.
Damn. You kept eating a live well, didn't you?
Yeah, all the way home. And they were in chunks about this big all the way home, too.
Mike Lewis says, Pablo, if you stand up, we can see you. That sounded like something Ryland would say.
That's it. Sound like Ryland.
I know. He probably likes Casey too. I don't know.
Oh my goodness! So we got to tell the joke that Ryland came up with over at the thing. Maybe I said it already, but I think it's freaking hilarious. Ryland and Pablo were going at it, telling jokes back to each other, just like smearing each other big time. And Ryland tells Pablo, you're so short, you make Kelly look tall.
Oh my gosh. That was terrible. I felt bad for you, Pablo. I was like, oh, that's terrible.
No, it's not terrible. It's good stuff.
Pablo
man. I mean, we have a great relationship until he beats me. He beats me so bad that he just he keeps me guessing all the time. There's another one coming, I start flinching around him.
Oh man. He like loves you. I don't know what it is, but Ryland.
Because he's got someone he doesn't have to look up at. He gets to look right into Pablo's eyes.
Oh man.
Just
kidding.
But you're absolutely right, Jeff. Calico Chris, Colder Ice Chris, he was filming a Dorado last month off the pier in Balboa. So you're absolutely right. It could happen. I don't know why Justin wouldn't take that guy mahi fishing.
Yeah, especially on a half-day trip. I mean, that would be well worth it.
You just go drive around that Balboa pier.
Yeah, just go around the pier and start driving around.
Yep.
Oh, God, that would be freaking hilarious. So
Yes,
I wanted to
sir.
let everyone know also, so the rock cod squirts and everything at Promar. So these rock cod squirts are a must-have, especially for this Friday if you're going out, or Sunday or next week. If you go to the QR code, which will be down there in just a minute, you're going to save 15% right now.
Ooh, that's great.
You have a great savings of 15%. Just scan the QR code, or at checkout, use code YSWG or YSWG22. So there's multiple different ways that you can save on here, but you're going to save 15%. Make sure you get these. These are a must have on your boat.
And then, Justin, do you know who won the final ambush this season?
No.
Me either. I don't know. Maybe
I'll
you'll
tell
find
you.
out tomorrow.
I'll tell you. Okay. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
I will just go ahead and start talking, and I will find out for you.
All right, Pablo. Do you know any rockfish spots down in Mission Bay, Pablo?
Yeah, there's so many nearby, and then I got to check on. I think Justin said we got to stay under 300 for right now, so there's plenty of spots to do that. Obviously, you can't go to the 9 Mile bank for that, but the South 9 is always an option. It's in Mexican water, but I got plenty of spots near Mission Bay where we can get reds and everything else, and plenty of openings. It looks like Saturday is a really good day. I'm booked and I'm going that day. I was checking the wind too, so I hope that holds true. And Friday looks actually not bad either. It's just
no way.
More of like a morning, and then Saturday is more.
Oh my gosh! Can I say
1 o'clock or something? So I think both days are going to be good. I hope as we get closer, we'll
text me right now.
Let's go get them. I know where they're at.
I know his name. You guys are never going to believe this. All right, go ahead. If you can, text me the name of the person. Or not the person, the name of the whatever it is, that one. Bye.
And Deckhand Sports, Dave, I'm glad you got to meet the family. Yes.
Another member. Hold on.
No.
Yes. Oh, my God. I'll tell you in a minute. Keep talking. Hold on.
So Deckhand Sports, Dave Farron, you're such a great human being. I'm glad you got to meet my little baby sister. She loves it when I call her that. You got to hang out with Todd Manser at the CCA Mixer at Todd's office in Dana Point. Bill Shedd was there, Doug Lasco, Chris from CCA. That's awesome. That's a great time that you got to have with those people. Those are all good family members.
So,
What's going on?
Another thing is Promar's coming out with some really cool stuff this year. You're going to probably see us using it on the boat, but it's not available yet. We're demoing it out right now. We're trying to make things a little bit better, like all the Promar products that they have. We try to make them, the highest quality, top-notch, everything that it can be. So that's what we're working on right now. On the live shows, you'll see me using some things that you may not used to seeing me use. Those are actually the things that they're coming out with. But they won't be available until later on this year. So now, that being said, the winner, the very last winner, he gave me permission to announce it.
Woo!
The last winner for Promar Ambush 24 of the season, which is the lobster $500 giveaway that they were doing. And all you had to do is go on Instagram, post a picture of a lobster with an ambush hoop net, and then hashtag Promar24. So the very last winner, it is what do you say right now? Okay. Promar's on here right now. It is another member of your Saltwater Guide. Congratulations. Boater BC. Brian Carter, congratulations.
No way, Brian. Woo! Yeah, Brian.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ambush the season, the very last one. Congratulations again, Brian Carter, Boater BC. Good job.
Brian Carter was asking me throughout. That's so cool, Brian, because he was asking me, do you think they're seeing my post? Do you think they're seeing my post? I think they saw your post, Brian. I think they saw your post, buddy.
Congratulations, Brian. I know you're on here. I seen you post a little while ago.
And you get an extra $50 because I know you were wearing gear. I know that. You didn't post one picture without your Saltwater Guide gear, so you get another $50 for that. and you can pick out some more clothes over at the website. Just send me or Kelly a text and we'll get you sent out your gear. What a great, oh my goodness.
And Brian Carter, Bill Varney said, congratulations.
That pretty much swept the whole contest, right?
Yeah. So, and I wanted to say also a very thank you to all the Your Saltwater Guide members that participated in the whole ambush this season. Your Saltwater Guide members really swept, just like Dave said, swept the whole season. You guys won almost every single month of the ambush season. I think there was only 1 month
that
where
first
the Saltwater Guide member didn't do it, but we were just getting it out there right there. And everyone was seeing how it worked, what to do. And then we started pushing it more and more to start promoting and putting out a picture and hashtagging ambush 24 on Instagram. So I'm sure something like that's going to be for next season as well, of lobster season. So make sure you keep an eye out, and also keep an eye out for special discounts like there is right now, 15% off of all Promar products, and look forward to seeing new product coming out with Promar as well.
And Brian's on here right now. Brian, let's do something. You and I will talk about it after the show. Let's do something. Oh, there was only two members, two winners that weren't members. Why don't we do a rock cod squirt contest for the rockfish? Rock cod squirts. You got to have the rock cod squirt in the rock cod's mouth, and hashtag Promar something. You and I will come up with that, and we'll announce it tomorrow, opening day of Rockfish, on the show with Michael Folks. Sound good, Brian? You come on the show for a few minutes and talk about the new contest. That'd be awesome.
So Promar just announced right now, those of you that don't see it, that this next upcoming year is going to be even bigger. So stay tuned for all that. Just absolutely amazing stuff coming out with Promar. They always seem to be one step above and beyond of everybody. So good job.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I'm so excited that we're all part of this. The family, like right back to family, Jeanette, right back to family, Lisa, just Tim Ogilvy, Jason, Brent, right back to family. This is family. And the family swept the contest, and bigger and better next year. You guys better become part of the family if you want to win stuff, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
So what else? What else we got going on? We got a big meeting coming up on the 16th and 17th. And since you're here, Justin, and Pablo and I aren't, I don't know, maybe Pablo is. If he is, he's been hiding it. We're not much of hunters, but it looks like there's a big bunch of stuff going on in the hunting world too in California.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from politics because it like pisses me off. So someone asked, how many lobsters did I get this season, keepers, compared to last year or last season? Actually, not how many lobsters did I get keepers on the boat this season compared to the previous season. So this season total, I got 1,591 keeper lobsters on the boat.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So last season it was over. Oh, hold on, someone's here. I don't know. So last season was over 2,000. So it's a really, really good year, and we got to seriously thank all you guys again, everyone that's come out. That made that possible. We had good nights. We had, okay nights, but most of all, it was a great time. So
over 2,100 last year and over 1,000 this year. That is a phenomenal year. Last year was an enigma. You can't really judge what's going on. 1,000 plus lobsters is a phenomenal season for anybody. The amount of trips you ran, the amount of people you took, introduced them to this lobster thing. And you really didn't go to Catalina that many times this year, or the number would have been like astronomical.
So if you were to compare last season to this, or like just this season to last season, I went to Catalina, when I got over 2,000 lobsters, I went to Catalina one time. And then this last season, I went to Catalina 12 times. So
Jeanette didn't like pulling the hoops through the kelp at Catalina.
no, that was so horrible. It's always so horrible that way.
Tim Mack, I'm not sure what you're trying to say, buddy. Do you need to be banned, or are you trying to be funny, or what are you trying to do there, big boy? You get an opportunity to say something else, and then whatever you're trying to do, I'm not sure.
That's so funny.
All the comments disappeared on my screen. I don't know what happened.
You what?
All the comments disappeared on my screen.
Uh-oh.
I got banned.
Yeah, you did. You're done.
How'd the comments disappear on your screen? That's weird.
I don't know, the right column where they're usually at on our view. They're all gone.
Log off and log right back in. Are you on your phone?
No. My phone's right here, all charged up.
No way. That's weird.
Well, not all charged up.
Log off and log back on. I don't know how long you guys want to go, but I don't have anything going on. But
we're going to take questions from the audience here for a while because we need to figure out why we're not running any trips. Gang, try to explain to us what it would take to get you guys to go fishing with Pablo and Justin and Al. We're going to sit here and listen to what you have to say. What would it take to get you guys to fish on one of these 3 boats? What do you guys think? Help us out here. We're trying to figure this out because this is pretty much the slowest any of us have ever seen this. So can you guys help us out so we can figure out why no one's going fishing?
I have all my comments.
Everything working?
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Control-Alt-Delete.
So Dave just asked, what's it going to take to get us off the dock pretty much. It's really slow. I don't know why it's so slow. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Honestly, I know fuel prices just went up 35 cents everywhere I look right now, which is crazy.
I guarantee you that, as soon as the weather gets really nice, everybody's going to want to go, and, we'll do our best at that point. But I mean, it's a little bit of a slow start, but it is going to pick up for sure. But the time to book with us is right now while we have availability. That's for sure. So,
and a lot of people are asking Pablo, because, you broke the internet yesterday, about this whole yellowtail thing. Like, how'd you know? Don't give out too much info, but what'd you look for? Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you using live bait? Are you using lures? Jeanette wants to know, are you able to do that on her boat?
Yeah, I answered her. I answered her, and yes, Jeanette, we can do that on your boat for sure. And yes to all of those. We are using live bait. We are using lures. And then as far as where I know where to go, it's my local fishery. And I'm out there all the time. And not only for yellowtail, but for everything else that is out there. So it's familiarity with the zone that I fish in often. And some things are like, some things you can't really explain. It's like the just being out there and just reading it right, or, seeing the behavior. Like Dave makes fun of me. Oh, you're just bird watching. Like when I tell him, hey, we got birds bombing on bait. But a lot of times, you got to look for everything. I mean, we were seeing breezers yesterday, but they were mackerel, but it's still interesting to go over there and check it out. And then, you do see them splash and you see them come up to the surface. And right now they're usually up and down, but typically it's, you're in the right zone when everything's lining up. And I don't know exactly how to explain that, but, and then following the game plans like we all do. Justin puts out a game plan that he follows. I put out a game plan that I follow, and same with Al. And that's all I was doing. And I was just going to my zone and I kept working my zone extensively all day. And, there's no reason to really go anywhere else because that's where they are. And, we have a lot of those yellowtail that stick around all year. And right now it's more like hunting. It's more like getting out there in the bushes and, waiting and waiting and waiting, and hopefully you get one. But typically we've been getting anywhere from like 1 to 3 And yesterday we went 2 for 3. And yeah, it's just about getting out there and just reading all the conditions, and just you
So
have
you
everything.
say, so you say it's like hunting, right? So
Yeah.
some people that are watching, they're not. A lot of people are not hunters. So
Right.
when I go out hunting, when I try to go out hunting, I'm looking for like deer tracks, game trails, food plots. I'm looking for water supply and all this stuff, and I'm trying to get in between. So if I'm out on my boat, that's hunting. Now, if I'm out on my boat and I'm hunting, and say I'm driving around, Pablo, and I see all of a sudden a couple seagulls or turnbirds. I see birds, and
Right.
they're looking down at something, and they kind of dip down and they fly back up. Would that be any indication of anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's an indication of bait, and then, but what they have, their behaviors lately have been, there's been a lot of bait and a lot of birds and all that, and when you see them all, obviously you know this, but when they're all, they look like a swarm of bees and they're just bombing and picking. Obviously, if you look for big splashes under them, that's definitely a good signal that something bigger is pushing through the bait. And a lot of times you can just look for things like that, and you could try throwing an iron or something like that in there. And a lot of them are coming up through that smaller bait, and a lot of times too, we're using the technology that we have. We're looking on our up and down, and we're metering them. And a lot of time, yesterday we metered them a lot, but most of the strikes that we got were either immediately after a meter mark, or right as I was starting to meter them. And we know what they look like. Everybody's meter is different, so they're going to appear different on everybody's meter. But I know what they look like on mine and how I have mine tuned in, and that helps. That's like a helpful tool. And yeah, basically just putting it all together and having everything in your toolbox as far as, if you're going to do surface irons, if you're going to yo-yo, if you're going to do a dropper loop, if you're going to fly line, or if you're going to troll around like we did.
Nice. And yet, yes, Jeanette, we have to take you out for tuna this year. We have to.
100% chance of that.
So, Brent, Seawolf 13, was saying that there's different kind of birds that you're looking for. The birds that we're looking for are white. They fly like this. And then they'll dip down like that. And then they'll fly back up. If they're just sitting on top of the surface, you know what they're doing? Sitting on top of the surface.
Yeah.
They're resting. They're tired.
Yeah.
So if you see them up in the air, the white ones, and they're looking down and they dive, then that means there's something that they just dove on. Something's down there. So now it's our job to find out, right? Depending on what's in that area at that time is what's down there.
Right.
Some birds, the white ones, sit there and flutter.
Yeah.
Like this. Okay. Those are the main ones that we tend to keep an eye on that are looking at something down underneath. So if they're fluttering in the air, they're looking at the bigger fish to push up the smaller fish. Seagulls, on the other hand, don't tend to just flutter in the air. They fly around, make all that noise, and then dive and come up. And they dive and sit on the water. Pelicans like the bigger prey, mackerel. And sometimes when we look for pelicans diving, oh crap, my thing's gonna die. When pelicans dive, we're looking for a certain species of fish as well. So.
Yeah, so there's different kinds of birds for absolutely sure. And if they're flying, that means nothing. Like so many people have asked me over the years, if I got some birds over here, I'm all, what are they doing? Oh, they're flying. Okay, when they're working, they're doing what Justin's saying. They're hovering, they're looking, they're dipping into the water, coming right back up, looking. The higher the birds are, the deeper the fish are. When the birds touch the water, that means the fish is on the surface. Down here in Mexico, we have a bird called a frigate bird. When you find the frigate birds, that means you got Dorado or tuna, or you got marlin, and you can watch the frigate birds. They'll be way high up in the air, 200 feet up in the air, hovering above the school of fish. As that frigate bird starts to make contact with the water, that's when you want to get there, because that means it's happening. Justin saved himself many tuna trips because he saw one tern bird. They're the little white ones we're talking about that look like a butterfly. When they're hovering, they're looking at that tuna. Justin knows to get over there and drag that Mad Mac or flick the kite underneath, the rubber flying fish under him, or the dead flyer, because that tern bird's looking at a tuna, or he's looking at a dorado, or he's looking at a marlin. The thing about the pelicans and the brown seagulls and all them, they're looking at bait. They're involved in bait. And a lot of times I tell people, we don't need any bait. The bait tank's full of bait. We don't need bait. People are like, there's pelicans diving over there. Yeah, they're diving on bait. We're looking for that little bird that looks like a butterfly that's hovering. And there's all kinds of things going on. The ocean is alive all day long, but most people never see it. They don't look. That's why when you take Pablo or Justin or Al on your boat, that's when the learning begins. And I've told everybody this a million times when I started my guide service 25 years ago. You do not want Pablo, you do not want Justin, and you do not want Al on your boat when the fish are biting.
No.
Because you're not going to learn anything. Anybody can catch them when they're biting. You want to go now. You don't want to wait till the summertime when everything's wide open and all you got to do is go out there and pick a booger out of your nose and eat it, and you're going to catch a fish. You want to go now and learn. What was Pablo looking at yesterday? Why? Why did he stay in that zone? What was him and Steve Duncan and Tony, what were they looking at? Why? Why were they there? You might not catch a fish all day, but you're going to learn. You want to go with Justin to Catalina now so that you can fill up your GPS with a bunch of spots and understand how the spots work and how the current works and how the water temperature works and how all that stuff lines up and starts to come together as a puzzle. And another thing we hear from people that are super jealous of us and what we do is Dave's website's only for beginners. Well, gang, I've had some of the biggest names in the industry call me and ask me for information before. So if you think that this website's for beginners only, you're highly mistaken. This website's for everybody at whatever level you're at, because one thing I can promise you is you don't have time on water compared to all of us that are making these game plans for you every week. And time on water is going to separate you from the rest. There was something that you guys wouldn't have seen that Pablo saw yesterday. There's something at Catalina that Justin sees that you don't see when he's moving and he's changing. You're like, wait a minute, I'm getting a bite every time I throw my line in the water. Yeah, but Justin sees something different in another zone. That's why he moved over to that zone. One of our members just Sunday, Danny, he's been out with me. He's a very good fisherman. He uses our game plans. He uses what we talk about all the time. He was at Santa Barbara Island on Saturday and Sunday, and he caught himself a 30-pound sea bass. No one's catching any sea bass right now. So if you're waiting for the sport boat fish counts before you decide to go, you're missing out on all kinds of cool stuff is all I'm trying to say.
Yep. I'm going to go grab, actually, I don't think I'm going to be much. I was going to go grab a charger. You know, chargers are a must-have on your saltwater. So, yes, the person that asked, I don't know, the comments went way down there now, but the person that asked, do I do full-day trips out for tuna? Yes. I do full trips out for tuna.
Heck yes.
And Angel, white sea bass at Catalina, I can help you out with that a little bit.
You what?
Oh, and then Brent, as far as pelicans, I don't master much, but I'll master a pelican. I am the master of pelicans, I promise. I can tell you what's under a pelican when they're flying around. It's kind of weird how I do that. So let's see here. And then there's a Oh, that's you, Pablo.
What?
That's you that commented.
I did?
Yeah.
Tim,
Yeah.
call me later?
Yeah.
No, he wants to book a trip. He wants a guide trip with Justin.
No, no. Yep, Bill Varney's calendar is super important to have on your boat. Tells you all the tides.
There's just so much to this puzzle we call fishing. If you just start to understand what Pablo, Justin, and Al are talking about on their game plans every week, it's going to help you to put together your game plan. So when you take your friends or family out fishing, and this white sea bass thing, I was reading that comment from Angel. White sea bass is like called the gray ghost for a reason. So if you're waiting for everything to line up because the sport boats caught a whole bunch of them yesterday, that's the day they're not going to bite, the day after they bit. And the best thing to do is get Justin on your boat and go to Catalina. If you're coming out of LA, Long Beach, or Marina del Rey, you want to start out at the east end of the island and work your way up to the west end of the island so you're closer to home when it's time to go home, and learn all the spots. And why is Justin anchoring here and not there and da-da-da-da? Because if you're just going to hire these guys as a guide to go fishing when the fish are biting, I can't reiterate this enough. That's the wrong time to go. That is the wrong time to go. You want to learn. You can accidentally, I don't know, Justin caught 25 short white sea bass the other day. There's no reason in the world he didn't get a legal one. He was at their house. If there's baby ones, there's mom and dad are there. But
that was a good day too. I only had to anchor twice. That was a phenomenal day. It was wide open, everything.
Yeah, it's super important to understand that there's so much to this thing. You need to go learn. You need to go learn. You need to video with your phone when you're out there and see what Justin's seeing, what he's talking about. Like I was your saltwater guide long before this website, long before anybody really knew. I was advertising on some other websites and stuff. And I would always tell the people when we would get to Catalina, I go, okay, listen, when I stop the boat, you're going to catch more fish. And I'm not trying to be an egomaniac. I'm just explaining this to you. When I stop the boat, you're going to catch more fish than you've ever caught before in your life. We're going to have to take a time out in the middle of that and move, because you didn't hire me to catch fish. If you wanted to catch fish, you would have chartered the boat I was driving at the time and we would have gone over and caught fish. You hired me to learn the island and learn what we're looking for. I'm not going to drop the anchor if the conditions don't look right. And if they do look right, you're going to catch more fish than you've ever caught before. Another thing about white sea bass fishing that most people never give it a chance to do is wait for the magic to happen. So when you're out at San Clemente Island or you're out at Catalina and you're with Justin, and every time he throws his bait in the water, he catches a fish, and then you catch a calico bass every bait for an hour, and then you look at Justin and go, God, I really just wanted to catch a sea bass today. And Justin will tell you, that could be your next bait. Most people leave before the magic happens. The last thing you want to do when you're fishing and you're catching fish, every time you throw your line in water, is leave to go look for fish. Just trying to help you.
Very, very true.
Hey guys, I gotta take off. I got the family waiting for me.
Tell them to wait. No,
Yeah, you're in the middle of a podcast. You can't leave.
I got to.
All right, Pablo, we love you. Thanks for a great day yesterday. We all had fun hanging out with you.
Yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, let's get us all booked up. Get Justin and I and Al to come out on your boats, or get a hold of us and we'll take you out on ours. Ready to go. Thanks for the great show, guys. Good to see you.
Good job,
all right, Pablo. Thank you, buddy.
All members. See you.
See ya. All right. So now you got Justin and I. If you guys got any questions or anything, and absolutely, Mike Lewis, absolutely. Even if you're in Alaska catching fish, that was a crazy time. But yeah, you never want to leave fish to go look for fish. Unless you're fishing the island and you want to go offshore and go look for bluefin later in the day or something. But all the sea bass I've ever caught, we were catching blue perch and calico bass, wide open. sargo, shovel-nosed sharks, leopard sharks, and then
Yellowfin croaker.
all of a sudden it turns into straight sea bass. You don't know. You got to relax. Take a deep breath.
Another thing that I see out on the water as well, even when we go on sport boats and everything as well. So we'll drive to a spot and there's no current. We're not going to stop. I know you want to put your line in the water to catch a fish. Like Dave always says, we're not going to stop if you're not going to catch anything. Because you don't want to fish. You want to catch. Everybody wants to catch. There's no I want to fish. No, you don't want to fish. You want to catch. We want you to catch. We don't want you fishing. We want you catching. So we pull up to a spot. Say we go to the east end on the back side. And we pull up to like Binnacle Rock. And there's no current there. Well, we're not going to stop there. We're going to drive by it. We're going to look in the water. We're going to get our assessment of what's going on and go, you know what? It's not going to work right here. So in our mind, we're not going to tell you, hey, this is what's happening unless you hire us as a guide. Then we're going to tell you. But if you're on our boats, we're going to be like, no, we're thinking in our mind, nothing's going to bite right here. So we're moving. So we go to the next spot. We go to Orange Rocks. Okay. We go to Orange Rocks. We look around. The kelp is standing straight up and down. Like, well, there's nothing going on here. And now we're just wasting fuel is what we're doing because we really want in our hearts to stop at the very first spot, anchor up, and have you catch all day long. That's what we want. Most of the time, it doesn't work out that way. So we go to Orange Rocks, and the kelp is standing straight up and down. Unfortunately, you're not going to catch anything there either. Off we go. So we go up towards the Palisades, and all of a sudden, over near the Palisades, the current is ripping downhill in the spot we want to go. And we're like, wow, we drive around, we see this fish, people are looking around, but we just passed up 30 boats on the way there that were just sitting at anchor. And all the passengers are looking like, why aren't we going over there? Or aren't we going over there? Well, there's a reason, because they're not catching fish. Okay. Oh, taking right. Okay. So there's a reason for it. And it's because they're not catching fish. You'll see other people just sitting there because other people want to sit there. I don't know why or what they're doing, but we have zero patience to catch nothing. So we go over to the Palisades and it's ripping downhill current, and we know automatically as soon as we anchor, we tell you to hold on, don't throw your lines in the water, because when we anchor, we got to back up a little bit because we're just going to run over your line. You're going to lose your lures and your lines and your hooks and everything else. So just wait, patience. Drop the anchor, we back up, throw some chum, and the whole water lights up like a Christmas tree. Every bait you throw in the water now is going to get bit. That's all you want is that bite, because without a bite, you can't catch a fish. So as soon as you throw that line in the water, boom, you're bit, someone's on. What does everyone do on the boat when someone hooks up? Instead of concentrating on catching something, they look over and stop what they're doing now. Oh, he's catching a fish. I kind of understand, but then I don't understand, because it's the same way as we're passing those 30 boats. Your first instinct is, what's going on over there? Are they catching? So instead of worrying about the person that's catching the fish, worry about what you're doing and your technique is. Let that fish or that squid or the chovy swim. Let it run free. It has to swim free. If you put any tension behind it at all, you're not going to get a bite. So you have to let it swim as free as it can. And then when you get bit, there's different strategies depending on what kind of bite you get. Well, we can get into all that later. You can put your hand on the reel a little bit, kind of tap it with your fingers, make it seem like something's trying to pull back on it, and it'll eat it faster. Or if the fish are a little bit finicky, you just let it run for 5 or 10 seconds and then set the hook that way. Anchovies, well, I always tell everyone, give it 1 second. One, boom, set the hook, you're done. Because everything loves anchovies, like we talked about the other day, and they just inhale the anchovy. Now, we're sitting there for 10 minutes, and it's wide open fishing. Wide open. And all of a sudden, the boat swings. And no one's catching a fish now. Every single bait that you threw in the water, you're catching fish. And now, all of a sudden, nothing's happening. We'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll say, let's pull anchor. But 10 minutes ago, it was wide open fishing. And you're thinking, why are we moving if it was wide open right now? Well, the current stopped. the fish aren't going to bite. Maybe you got one little short bite because a little tiny perch grabbed it, but that's it. It's not wide open fishing. It's not what it was when we first got there. Why? Because the current stopped moving. Now we're on a mission to go find the fish and find the current. So we got to keep going and going and going. And we go further up the island. Then all of a sudden we have to go around the corner to Mike's spot because we got to go way over there, like 4 miles away, over to Mike's spot. And all of a sudden, guess what? There's raging uphill current at Mike's spot. So we go to Mike's spot, we anchor, we throw a chum out, and guess what happens again? The water lights up like a Christmas tree. Every bait in the water, you're bit again. But it took us that long amount of time to find the exact conditions to get you bit. Sometimes we go all day long to find one spot that produces like that. Sometimes we go all day long and never find it. So patience is key. All we want more than you guys to catch fish. Trust me, because if you're not catching, we're failing, we feel. So that's just a little tips and everything when we're out there, what we're looking for. But we teach you all of that when we come out on your boat.
Absolutely. And if you can't afford us to come on your boat, you can check all that stuff out. Everything Justin just talked about is available over on the website. Tim Ogilvy asked a great question. So did Lisa. We're going to get to your question in a minute, Lisa, about Justin. But Tim Ogilvy, when you're slow trolling baits, you're not going to fish them like when you're trolling the Rapalas or the X-Raps or any of that. What I teach is, when you're slow trolling baits, you look back behind the boat where the prop wash starts to dissipate and there's no longer prop wash.
I'm going to grab a trigger. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you want your bait right there on the edge of that, and you want to keep it right there on the edge of it because the yellowtail are super curious. So they're going to come right up to the propeller wash. If there's no propeller wash, they're not back behind that. Right where the propeller wash dissipates. That's where they're going to come from behind to look for something to eat because they're fish. They're dumb. They don't know that that's propeller wash. They just think it's some activity in the water, which usually means to fish food. So they're going to come in there to your propeller wash and look. What I do, I have that video on the website, how to slow troll baits. I fish with my reel and free spool with my thumb on the spool. This is the only time I put my thumb on the spool is because I'm usually driving. If I'm not driving, I'm the other guy. I got my index finger on the spool. But if I'm driving, I got to have my thumb on the spool. As soon as I feel a bite, I take the boat out of gear, and then I move my hand to the proper position with index finger on the spool, thumb on the trigger, let the fish run with the bait, causing a little pressure with my index finger, making the fish think something's trying to steal the bait out of his mouth. Put the reel in gear, wind as fast as I can till I feel the tension, because normally that fish, when he takes your bait, he's only going two directions, either toward you or away from you. I wind the slack out of my line as fast as I can till I feel total tension. Then I'll lift the rod and grind at the same time. I don't swing like I see 99.9% of you guys swinging. You guys are swinging into the air. What's going to happen when you swing, if you're not winding, when you swing, you rip the bait out of the fish's mouth, and then you throw it back, the tip back down. You didn't get it. You never turn the handle. Let's just say you swung and you hooked him. That fish is swimming straight at you as fast as he can, and he's shaking his head as fast as he can because he didn't like the feeling of that hook. So when there's a bunch of slack and he's shaking his head, he throws the hook out of his mouth. I never stop winding. You'll see me. I grind and grind and grind and grind till that rod's bent over double and the line starts to go off my reel. Then I stop winding and I hold the tip as high as I can to stop the fish. I do not keep doing this. Every time you do that quick snap jerk, you snap your line or you rip the hook out of the fish's mouth. Hold the tip high, turn the handle, Randall. That's it. That's all there is to fishing. It's so simple. Once you get the bite, I see so many people trying to get that fish off their line by jerking the living bejesus out of their rod over and over and over and over and over and over. What I tell everybody in my 52 years doing this, you jerk that enough, you will snap the line or you will rip the hook out of his mouth. Just keep jerking. If you're trying to get rid of him, jerk more. If you're trying to catch him, turn the handle. It's so simple and it's so easy. If you ever watch any of the videos of me actually catching a fish, I know I make a lot of how-to videos, but when you see me actually involved in the act of fishing, my rod is bent and my hand is turning the handle, period. You never see me doing this like you see everybody else. I just want to catch the fish as fast as I can so I can get them off my hook so I can get another bite. The only fun part about fishing for me is the bite. That's most fun for me is the bite. So I don't want to do this when I'm fighting a fish because, first of all, I don't want to lose it. Second of all, I don't want to wear myself out. 99.9% of the time, I can hold the rod and turn the handle, and that I can walk the fish. I don't care if it's a tuna, a marlin, calico bass. I can walk the fish right to me. He's going to pull against me, but that hurts. Then he's going to swim towards me. I'm going to gain a little line. Then he's going to forget. He's going to turn around and pull against me again. I'll wait. Then I'm going to turn the handle when he gives me a little line. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's how simple this thing is. But everybody makes it way too complicated because they see Inside Sport Fishing and they see Michael Folks filming those guys jerking the shit out, jerking the heck out of the rod, and they all think they need to jerk. There's no jerking. My dad used to say it. There's the thing about fishing, there's a jerk on one end waiting for a jerk on the other. That's it. Stop jerking. Now,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Lisa wanted to know something. Justin, did you see her question? Did you catch any fish with the boys on Saturday?
No.
But you got your stuff painted, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't. I only took Madden. Rylan didn't want to go. Madden really wanted to get off the dock and go fishing out in the water, but it was really, really windy, and he was not having that as an answer. So I was like, unfortunately, son, we got to stay right here. And I was doing some work on the boat. So he was fishing and watching his phone, and yeah, that's all that happened. He was fishing, not catching. So sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. It was really windy too, really, really windy. But I wanted to mention also is there's two different kinds of hooks. There's a J hook and there's a circle hook. J hooks, you're going to set the hook on. Circle hooks, you're just going to reel. Okay. I know Dave isn't a circle hook person. Everyone's different. I love circle hooks. It's just, I don't know why. I love J hooks too, but I if it were up to me, I prefer circle hooks over J hooks. It's just my preference. Circle hooks are really easy to hook the fish. Really easy. J hooks, you have to put effort into it. I'm an effortless kind of person. So circle hooks, all you have to do is as soon as you get bit, not as soon, but you let it run once you get bit, so on and so on. Circle hook, all you do is you put it into gear and you reel it. That's all you have to do. J hooks, on the other hand, when you let it run, you put it in the gear and you wind as quick as you can and set it, whack. And then that's when you just keep the rod bent and reel in the fish. So those are two different kind of hooks. I see it all the time whenever people use circle hooks. They try to set the hook and never hook the fish. It's because when you set a circle hook, you don't hook the fish. It just doesn't happen. But the J hooks, which are on the squid squirts, these are the J hooks right here. These are a little bit different scenario. So this is rock fishing. We're fishing in the deeper kind of water. And when we drop it down to the bottom using the J hooks, you don't have to set the hook on here. Why? If you ever look at a rockfish's mouth, they have a really big mouth. They're really hungry. They're down there waiting for your squid squirt to come near them. As soon as it comes near them, they extend their mouth out and grab the whole thing. When they do that, they kind of squeeze down. When they squeeze down, they've already hooked themselves. You don't have to do anything. You could just sit there and let the rod sit there. They're going to hook themselves. So all you have to do is instead of jerking, all you have to do is just reel, and it's going to hook them automatically. Automatically, they're going to be hooked. So, and then just like Dave said, doing the whole whipping action as you do that. Rock fishing, all you're going to do is do it at a steady pace coming up. Don't jerk it, because as you jerk it, you're bringing the fish up and they're spinning. That can break your line. And when you pull them up and you reel back down, they kind of sink down because of your weight and everything. Then they come back up again and sink down and then come back. All that jerkingness is going to pop it out of their mouth. So all you have to do is just keep the rod bent and just reel it up at a steady pace. Not fast, not too slow, just reel it in.
For sure, for sure. Just set the hook and wind them up. And Joe Lopez, next time I see your son, he'll get a free hat. Yep. I see that comment. Well, gang, Kelly girl just got done making my lunch. We can do this all day. Justin and I love to talk fishing, but you got to get Justin out there on your boat. Doug Rubin said, military discount. We're doing these trips $200 a person. We can't do it any cheaper than that. That's as cheap as we can go. We still got to be able to put the fuel in the boat and buy the bait. And that's the best we can do. 4 people, $200 a person. We can't do it any lower. That's it. That's your deal, gang. I don't know what it's going to take to get them off the dock, but
only for April.
Plenty of fish to only for April. Plenty of fish to catch. The only person that's stopping you from going is you. Gang, I want to thank you all very much for today. It was a wonderful podcast. Tomorrow we'll be back with Michael Folks. Justin will probably join us because he can't go out fishing. And Captain Al will join us. Pablo, they can't do anything tomorrow, so we'll all be hanging out with Michael Folks talking about the history of sport fishing. So we'll see you all tomorrow on here. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day. Turn off the news or all